How important is the match given where you and the Tigers are on the ladder?
It's not really about that as much as it is just both sides just wanting to try to finish the season well. And whilst we can't feature in finals, what we do in the last few weeks of the season is really important for your preparation for next year, really. And we want to finish the year well. I'm sure the Tigers want to do the same. So we're looking forward to the contest, and I'm sure the Richmond side are too.
Lots of hard work from the team over the last few weeks, but not a huge amount of wins. I mean, the opportunity to get some nourishment against the side close to you on the ladder must be a big carrot for you.
All we want to do is make sure we are really strong in the contest and compete for as deep into games as we possibly could. We're 10 points down with a minute to play in the third quarter, and the Cats kicked 3 goals in a minute that more or less put the game out of reach of us in a very, very quick space of time. So, whether it's the Cats, Carlton the week before, Richmond this week, just be in the contest, fight hard, make the most of your opportunities. We probably missed some chances against the Cats early in the game where we thought we should have converted some opportunities that we didn't get, and they punish you. They're a good and experienced side, and the good sides will hurt you if you don't take your opportunities when they're presented to you. So there will be no different this week against the Tigers. Different opposition, but same sort of thing. We need to take our chances when we get them and try to deny the Tigers the chances that they're going to get from time to time.
Extra spring in your step with the signings of Cam Zurhaar and Archer.
Yeah, that's exciting for our footy club, and Cam was entitled to, and I spoke to him earlier in the year. We've been around a long time, and the game has evolved. Free agency wasn't a feature of our game for a long period of time. It has been in the last 6 or 8 years. So every player is entitled to that freedom of choice after they've played at a club for a long period of time, and he wanted to see that the club was heading in the right direction and that there was some sort of opportunity for us to climb the ladder and get ourselves into finals footy. And I think particularly what's occurred over the last 6 or 8 weeks, where we have been more competitive against some of the better sides in the comp, then it's really exciting for him. It's exciting for our footy club and exciting for our fans that he signed on. And I think everyone who's been connected with North Melbourne, we're really pleased to see young Archer sign on. Obviously, his father's a shin boner of the century of our club, but he's showing the same sort of traits too. So really exciting that he's signed on for a while yet too.
Given it got so late in the year with Cam, were you worried that maybe he might have been gone?
What you usually just work on with that I work on anyway is just body language, and the communication that I'd had with him was I was really confident that he was going to stay here. He's really strongly connected to the club. He's a pretty loyal lad, strong values, and really loyal to his mates, and he's got some great mates here. So I thought it would have been a really big surprise if he left the club. But having said that, I applaud him for taking the time to actually assess all his options and do what he thinks is the best thing for himself as well as his footy club. And fortunately for us, it's a good decision for our club.
The buy-in from the core group of players that have chosen to stay on, does it give you a sort of confidence that there's bright times ahead for this club?
Yeah, I think so. And we've had to do some hard yards, and usually there's always a lag between all the hard work that's done and some of the decision making that's done, and when that actually materialises into some wins on the scoreboard for you. And unfortunately, they haven't materialised to this point in time. But I think we're showing the whole football world that we're on the march in that space. At some point in time, it obviously needs to materialise into wins on the scoreboard and a climb up the ladder. But we know a lot of the hard work is going to pay off for us at some point in time, and I think that's been reflected by both staff and players wanting to stay around and commit to the journey.
How are Combat and Core tracking? We saw them out on the tracks today. How did they look?
We're hoping they're both going to go okay. We were a bit bashed up after last week's game. We'd come off a 6-day break against the Blues and just a couple of bumps and bruises, but they were both able to do what we wanted to do today. So they'll both be selected in the side, and we just need to see how they pull up tomorrow. But we're really hopeful that they'll both play.
Was Georgie Wardlaw inside today, or is he? I couldn't see him out on the track.
Yeah. No, he unfortunately he's not going to play this week. He got a reported that he's had been unwell with a bit of delayed concussion, we think, from an incident late in the game. So we're unaware of that until this morning, in terms of him continuing to be unwell. So unfortunately, we're going to have to declare him out of the side and see where it goes from there.
Expecting the Tigers to play Dustin Martin?
Yeah, well, our anticipation is that he's back training and he was close to play last week. So I'd imagine if he's got through all the training this week, then he'll be right to go. And we just prepare for Richmond at their best and Dustin at his best, which is a bit of a frightening proposition, to be fair, because he's just an ornament to the game, really. I mean, I don't know what he'll do next year, whether it's at Richmond, elsewhere, or whether he'll retire. But we need to applaud this bloke for what he's contributed to our game. I'm not sure if we'll ever see it again. Three Norm Smith medalists in 3 winning finals. I thought Hodge was pretty special getting 2 and Gary Ayres, but he's got 3. I don't think it'll be matched anywhere in the history of the game. So he's a pretty special player. And Pendlebury's another one. He plays his 400th game, only the 6th bloke in the history of the game to do so. When it's an achievement like that, it's not just teammates and football club that applaud such a milestone. Like it's the whole competition. The respect that he's got playing 400 games. I know when I was heavily involved with Sean Burgoyne, obviously, and him getting to 400 games, the first Indigenous player to be able to do it. It's really, really special. 6 blokes in the history of the game. But game's been going well over 100 years. So Pendles and the Collingwood side, hopefully they go really well, and it's a great celebration of something that's pretty special in our game.
So Colby and Zach were both tests for this week. Are they going to be available to play?
Zach's still a little bit sore, so he won't play. He's progressing nicely, but he's got a bit of that terrible plantar injury in his foot that just grumbles along, and they're nasty little injuries because they just don't go away quickly. So he just hasn't settled to the level we'd like it just yet, but he's progressing okay. And Colby's trained the full week, so we're hopeful that as long as he pulls up well tomorrow, that he'll be available to play.
What's your reaction to Cyril Rioli and other former players launching federal court action against Hawthorn last week?
Yeah, well, that's a matter for the court, so we'll pretty much let that play out. That's been issued last week to the Hawthorn Footy Club, and it's played out for a long period of time, and we're just hopeful for all parties involved that some sort of resolution can occur. We worked really hard to try to seek some sort of resolution through the Human Rights Commission. It didn't occur, which was unfortunate. But this is the next platform that we get an opportunity to find some sort of resolution.
Do you expect you'll get a chance to defend some of the allegations levelled against you during the court process?
I'd hope so, but we just need to see how it all plays out. Federal court process is a really, really long process, so I don't even know when it's going to be. It could be as far away as 2 years away. So we'll just let that all play out, and in the meantime, just concentrate on the things that we can control, and that's just going about our day-to-day work.